So how can you get your CEO on board? One sure way will be by demonstrating how you can lower the costs of your contact center. Of course, it's not just about saving money. Social media is starting to touch almost every area of business, from marketing to product development to sales and PR. In the first video, I told you about a powerful strategy, showing your CEO exactly what people are saying about you in public. And after the shock wears off, the CEO will want it fixed, and fixed fast. After you're sure that it can be fixed, your next step is to make your case even stronger. To do that, show that social media can do more than protect your reputation. It can lower your company's customer service costs and improve other areas of the business. I'm convinced that will get you your funding. For our example, let's assume you're working for a medium-sized company with about 500 agents. In less than 5 minutes, I'll show you how to demonstrate that an investment in social media will more than pay for itself. The way to do that is come up with a return on investment, or ROI. For example, if you invested $1 and got $2 back, that would be an ROI of 100%. Don't let the term ROI intimidate you. It's true that ROI calculations can get pretty complex, but to prove your point, all you have to do is focus on a few key metrics. So here's the simplest way to calculate ROI. First, add up the savings, which we'll call gains. Subtract the costs from the gains, then divide the results by the costs and multiply by 100 to get the ROI. Now let's go through some sample calculations. Ready? Let's start with savings. Getting better results with the following metrics will bring down costs. You can affect call deflection, both direct and indirect, average handle time, and first contact resolution. Let's take a look at call deflection. For most companies, agent assistant calls are the most expensive part of their contact centers. One way to reduce these calls is to involve your online community. Your customers are a great source of knowledge, and when it comes to real-world experience, your super users may know more about your products than your agents. Many super users also enjoy giving advice to others for free. The way that you can measure the impact of your community is to look at call deflections. There are two different types. Direct deflections, where a customer posts a question and gets a crowdsourced answer. As a result, they won't pick up the phone and call an agent. And then there's indirect deflections, where customers find an existing answer and never even post a question. Now I'll show you how to calculate direct deflections. You'll need the following information: the cost of a call, the number of questions asked per month on social networks, the percentage of questions answered by super users, and the percentage of questions deflected. With this information, you can calculate the actual savings that result from call deflection. It goes like this. First, multiply the number of questions asked with the percentage of questions answered. With our assumptions, that would be 7,000 questions multiplied by 70% for a total of 4,900 questions being answered. Now you want to know how many of those answers result in call deflections. To come up with that result, we'll use the industry average, which is 10%. That means we'll take 4,900 and multiply it by 10% to come up with 490 deflected calls per month. You can now calculate how much money you'll save if each call costs $20. Just multiply the number of deflected calls, 490, by the cost per call, which is $20. The result is $9,800. The last step is to see how much you'll save per year. That's easy. Just multiply the monthly savings by 12 and you're done. For our example, that would be $117,600 per year. To finish your calculations for savings, just do the same for the other metrics. For this video, you can see the results of these calculations in our spreadsheet. When you add them, you get a total for the gains you can expect from a social media program. In our example, that's more than $750,000 in savings. Next, you're ready to calculate the costs. Here are the three main costs: those related to people, the price of the technology solutions, and the cost of implementing the process. Let's look at the typical people costs. Some of your people will work on the program part-time and others will be full-time. For each person, you want to multiply their compensation, which includes salary and benefits, by the amount of time they'll spend on the project. So let's assume you'll need the following people: a manager at about $100,000 per year at 20% of their time. That comes to $20,000. And a data analyst at about $103,000 per year, also at 20%, so that's about $20,000 also. And then 3 agents at about $61,000 per year working full-time. These 3 agents will cost about $183,000 for the year. When you add up your people costs, you come up with $224,126. For your technology costs, figure the cost of the individual components, like a contact center solution, a community platform, and a social media monitoring tool. Of course, the technologies you select will depend on your own unique situation, so they may differ from this example. For now, let's assume a contact center solution for 3 agents, add a community solution, and a social media monitoring solution. Plus, you'll want to add the one-time cost of implementing your technologies. You can now enter your costs into the spreadsheet and then subtract the costs from the gains. The result will be listed under the net results. In this case, it's about $450,000. And now you're ready for the final step, the ROI calculation. Remember, the formula for ROI is gains minus costs. Then you divide the result by the costs and multiply by 100 to express it as a percentage. For our example, we came up with an ROI of 144%. In my experience, that's a fairly typical result. Of course, it's not all about savings. What's missing from this equation is that goodwill towards your company will go up. That's what helps Zappos go from 0 to $1 billion in 10 years.